Hello guys and welcome back to DarkHorse FM, and in this video we're going to look at how to use the data hub to dominate the midfield and dominate games in Football Manager 2023. We're going to cover what I look for in the data hub and basically how I view the opposition from an analytical standpoint using the data hub. I have to warn you, this is not to encourage you to overhaul your team tactics or anything for every particular game that you want to play. It's just to give you an idea about the opposition that you're coming up against and how you can prepare for them, what to look out for, and to help you anticipate things that could happen during the match. We're going to put this into practice at some point in the video towards the end. I'm going to show you how I actually use this in-game, so stick around. We'll see how this applies in-game as well. So first thing I like to do is to go to the data hub, and there you're going to see all the menus that you need. It contains all the information about your position coming up in the next game as well. The summary here gives you a standout data as to what is useful, but you can come through and get more information, like really go deep and see extra stuff that you might find useful on the opposition. But the summary is just enough. It will tell you they are creative players, they are good defenders, those players that you can seem to avoid their flanks. If you want to focus on a particular flank, you can know which defenders are more in form right now, braver, the ones that you can try to trigger press, the players that you shouldn't really be trigger pressing. Most of the time, if you ask your assistant to apply opposition instructions, they go on to do a very good job. But to some extent, using the data hub like this, you can go on to have extra information to work with, and you can go and apply additional opposition instructions. With this, you can also know who their best free kick takers are, and if the team actually has a very good free kick taker in your team. That way you can avoid trying to tackle harder or tackle anybody harder or get stuck in any way, because it's just going to be you conceding fouls, and once you concede the foul, one of the easiest ways to concede goals in Football Manager is from direct free kicks or from indirect free kicks anyway. It's somehow difficult to defend free kicks in Football Manager, so try to not give them away. You can also see extra information from the comparison tab and the strength and weaknesses, but for me, I don't really pay too much attention into the strength and weaknesses column because it kind of takes the whole team, including the under-21s and the under-18s, so it's like an aggregate score of the entire team, so it doesn't give you the clear picture of the 20 or 11 players that are going to be on the field plus substitutes bench on match day, so it's why I like to really not pay much attention into that. What I do like to focus on is the goal scoring department. Look at how the opposition goes on to create chances, where they assist from, looking at their assist location, looking at where they score goals and the type of goals that they score. The timing as well, this is something that I noticed I like to fixate on, even though I don't think everybody does it. The minute as to when the opposition tend to score goals and when to concede goals. Within this period, within this time frame, I tend to either go overly attacking or overly defensive within this time frame, knowing that within that period, it's like there's a chance that they're likely going to score or concede a goal. Now, for the opposition instructions, once you've outlined their key players, looking at who those key assisters, good chance creators, goal scorers are in the opposition team, you can go ahead to put those guys on type marking or closing them down, trigger pressing them to try and stop them from scoring, or just have someone keep an eye on them during the match. And also it's important that you're watching the game when this is happening to see if they are evasive in a way. If they're very good dribblers, you're going to want to take that off. So in-game managing really helps in this situation, but having in mind that you've gone through the team's opposition scout reports, it will give you an idea as to those players you can go on to type mark. And as for defenders, you probably find out who the goalkeeper tends to pass the ball to in the opposition's back four. Most teams in Football Manager 2023 this year somewhat have a tendency to play out from the back, and you'd see it from the passing network in the opposition scouting instruction. That's why it's important to look at the data hub and look at your next opposition, and then you can see their passing network in the previous game, and then see how often the goalkeeper tends to play the ball to one particular centre back or one fullback, something like that. You're going to see those amount of passes. Even in the midfield, you can see the player in the midfield that is receiving a lot of the ball, and you can go on to put that player on type marking, or if it's a player that is not very good on the ball, you can go on to trigger press him and try and force him to lose possession, try and force a turnover, and that way you can go on to start a counter attack real quick. So that's kind of how opposition instruction works for me. That's the way I go on to apply it in using the opposition's report from the data hub. Sorry. So real quick, we're going to see how this works in game. Currently, I have a save with Chelsea, but I don't think I'm going to use Chelsea to do this because the next team that I'm coming up against, I'm not sure if they're a right fit for this test, because Chelsea could probably go on to blow off anybody. I'm going to release a video about this Chelsea save version, so keep in mind stay up to date, and also if you're not subscribed to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when that video comes out. I'm actually testing a unique tactic with Chelsea. So we're going to do this with one of my other saves. So I've gone all the way back to my Hamburg SV save, and currently we are sitting 16th in the BundesLiga. We just got promoted, so we're one of the weaker sides. And then we have a game against SV Werder Bremen. They're currently sitting in 12th place, so they're certainly a better team, or they're doing better than us currently in the league. So what's going to happen, I'm going to jump into the data hub. You can see that we have a good analysis, or advanced analysis column, and then off the bat, just go into the overview screen. You can then get a quick preview as to how the opposition is going to line up. So they're expected to play in a vertical tiki-taka style of play. That's just like mental note. And then you can see assistant midfielders V Darida. So Darida is like the one guy I'm going to need to pay attention to. The 3-year-old attacking midfielder. So that's one player I'm going. He actually averages, or he's in the quadrant of the highly creative, low quality creating player from open play. There's a quadrant here. You can see the crosshair. So players in this region are very, very dangerous. Players in this region are dangerous, but maybe not in tip form. Players in this low red region, there are players that are not doing very well at all, which is a lot of players, as you can see. But off the top, you have the idea that Darida is one player that is going to be a problem for us. You can see defending defenders in Nicholas Stark. Something I think I touched on this before as the players that you want to avoid when you're trying to create an attack. So this is one defender that is doing very well recently. So you might want to avoid him when you're trying to focus on which flank you're trying to play on. Nicholas Stark is on the left hand, or is on the right hand side of the opposition's defense. So that's the left hand side on our own defense. So attacking down the other half or the other flank is going to be beneficial. There's another player here in Marco Fredo, but this is just the summary aspect. You can go deep down if you really want to look at the opposition in detail and then go into all this. You can see how often they pass and the regions where they attempt most of their passes from. You can also see who the best defenders are at tackling. This also compares the opposition with your team, so you're going to see most of your players in here and see where your players are doing well, if they're not doing well at all. You can see the attacking efficiency, and you can see that both teams are in the third quadrant of passive shooting and wasteful shooting. So I know that Werder Bremen, as bad as they are, it's possible that they don't waste, or they don't shoot that many, and even if they shoot a lot, they don't get a lot of those shots on target. And just as my team as well, also in this terrible red quadrant as well. So it's something we're just as bad as they are. So it looks like a game that we can go on to. You can go into and look at all these frames one by one. That's how the data hub works. Scouting report, this side is kind of like comparing both teams. It also gives you a chance to look at the opposition's manager and see how they prefer to line up. You can see their pressing style is more often. You can see the formations that they will likely use, and then look at the game and see if it actually turns out like that. And then this is the part that I enjoy the most, the analyst column. You can see the goals they've scored, 20, and they've conceded 23 goals. You can see the locations where they score from, how often they score from that location, and the part that I like the most is the timing, how often they tend to concede goals. And you can see that they tend to concede goals very early in the game. So it's something I can note if I want to go and hit them off the bat, attacking from the get-go, from the beginning of the match. But you also have to be wary that they tend to score goals in the last quarter of the game as well, 76 to 90 minutes. So it means that in case you think you're comfortable, these guys have the capacity to come and hit you with a late goal once in a while. So final slot stat pack. This one just shows you the players and how good they are. You can see 2 matches. Marco Fredo he's probably their most assists. He has only assisted twice, and it's the most. So not a lot of people are assisting in this team, but also something to have as a mental note. You can see most goals, Andre Hahn, 3 goals in all. But Bulaidea has scored 8. So this is our player, by the way. The players in white are mine, and then the players in green is Werder Bremen. You can see the comparison here. So this is also another column you can go and look at and see how you can get advantage of the opposition and have an idea of how you can go about playing the opposition. Once you have everything all covered and you've kind of gone through the opposition's scout reports, you can go into this tactic here. You can see all the players that you looked at. They're probably going to be lined up here as well. Marco Fredo is one player that has 2 assists. So first of all, I'm going to actually ask my assistant to quick pick. Nothing is happening. My recorder is blocking that, so I'm going to have to do this manually. And then looking at Marco Fredo, he's one player that does a lot of passing from the deeper areas as well. So probably going to put him on normal passing and then trigger press him, so the goalkeeper tends to, or the goalkeeper, let me say you stop him from trying to create assist, and hopefully the goalkeeper is going to avoid playing the ball to him because the trigger press is set to him. But if the goalkeeper tends to play the ball to this guy a lot, the trigger press selected on him is going to also stop him from creating those chances. Nicholas Stark is the player that we're going to want to avoid. So we're going to try to put him on never, or possibly just leave him blank and then observe the game and see how that goes. From what I've seen in the scout reports, their wing backs do actually create chances. In this, the chances come from Friedel and the other guy, mostly Friedel, I think. And in the last 5 games, I think it's Friedel that's been the one creating chances. So Andre Hahn is the only other player that stood up for us. So he's the striker that's responsible for scoring most of their goals. So we're going to put him on tight marking and then observe the game and see how it works out. For the fullbacks, I know that they're not really posing a threat according to the opposition's report, but we're not going to just leave them out of it. So we're going to like put them on normal, or let's show them onto weaker foot and try and stop those crosses. So without further ado, let's look at how the game is going to unfold. Just start the game and match preview, ignore everything else, ignore the kickoff, just go in and start the game and use ascended highlights. That's what I'm looking for. So we're the team in white and the Werder Bremen are currently the team that are playing in green. So let's see how the game unfolds. The reason why I chose the 4-2-3-1 system is because I noticed that they have just one player on either flank. So hopefully having 2 players on our own side is going to help us outnumber them on the flanks and try to score them from wide areas. So currently there's a free kick to yellow card for Kwame. Okay, let's see how everything goes. Stark has possession of the ball now. I think we can also go on to trigger press them early and try. Yep, we have one possession. Here's Kittel out to Suhonen, out to Moheim this time at left back. Kittel again, nice. Suhonen out to Kittel again. Kittel is going out wide, cuts inside, tries to play a pass to Haya. Vuskovic. Oh, what a strike. What a strike. We're going to want to see that in 3D. Oh, come on. That's a hit. Here's Kittel with possession of the ball. Tries to play it out wide. Out to Haya. Haya finds Vuskovic. My central defender, by the way. He's playing in a different DM position right now, but he's a wonderful centre-back that I use in the lower leagues with HSV Hamburg, sorry. So let's look at how 6 minutes in, we've already got our first goal. So finally controlling the game, and Werder Bremen are starting to pick up pace now. But the fact that I have 2 players out wide is giving me some confidence on the flanks that we're going to actually control the game from there. Here's Conny Delfer out to Haya again. Haya is playing as my right back, and here's Ambrosius out of Vuskovic. Good string of passes. So actually controlling the game from the wide areas. Here's Kwame again. Oh, lovely passing. So it's actually showing that with limited opposition instructions, we're actually doing well. Oh, lovely ball to Dia. Oh, he couldn't get there. Oh, tries to play the ball to Dia again. Vuskovic. Long ball to Kittel. Oh, he's missed it. What the hell? Just come on. So we've gotten our 2 chances, and hopefully we're not going to concede any goals. But it's interesting to see how we can defend this. Oh, Haya again. Ball has gone back in. They can't seem to find Fulkrug. Here's Hahn. Saved by Fernandez, so we have to keep an eye on Hahn, really. We are currently doing our best to keep an eye on him. And here's the corner from Weiser. Oh, headed out. Good clearances and bomb. Out to Weiser again. Whipped in. Oh, with some venom as well. Cleared away. Good defending. Very good defending. So something really important was that the formation change actually helped us in this game. And noticing that they have 1 player on the flank is something that the opposition instruction scouting can actually help you to go on to find. Knowing that they used a back 3 system with 1 player on either flank gives you an edge if you actually go to play with the 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 system where you have 2 players out wide on either flank. That's a winger and a wing back, a winger on a wing back on either flank. It actually gives you numerical superiority over a back 3 system where there's just 1 wing back that is responsible for controlling the flanks. But we're still waiting for the next highlight. It looks like Werder Bremen are picking up pace because the stats is showing that they are all over us right now. We still have our 2 chances that we did. So here's an opportunity to do my team shouts, encourage my players to do a bit better. It seems like it fell off. Vuskovic has possession. Out to Dia again, out to Sohon, and Kittel is in space, but he's missed it. Oh God, he's missed it. So halftime is quickly approaching. We're not playing that badly, but we have possession of the ball, we're controlling everything. This is the stats so far. Just jump in there. Werder Bremen are actually slowly dominating the game, but in possession, we have all the possession so far. Most of the chances as well, and then we have the most important thing, which is the goals. Looking at the passing network, we can see just how they're doing. Nobody is really standing out from them as passing is concerned. I think we could look at that again in analytical data, and Perhaps we're going to go on to find the team instructions, looking at possession of both teams, Werder Bremen to be specific, and looking at their heat map, not heat map, not possession. There is where we actually go on to check our passing. Oops, I went to the wrong section. Okay, passes, and here we are. Select passes, combination of all passes. We're going to disable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then passing combination. So we have the ring now, and then we can see who the goalkeeper is playing the ball to a lot. Pavlenka is the goalkeeper, and most of the time there's something building here between the number 34 and the number 15. That's a relationship that we can look into playing. Friedel again is another player involved, having a high combination pass rate with their midfielder in Gruev. So trying to lock this combination and trying to intercept most of the passes from there can help us maybe see what it can do for us and help us try to win the game or control the game a bit better. So here, nothing too much. I'm not going to ask my assistant. I could easily have just asked the assistant to do this, but we're going to do it experimentally. So Gruev is one player that I would want to trigger press. And then Fulkrug, we're already trigger pressing him, but it seems like it's not working. So I'm going to leave that blank for now and then go on to trigger press Gruev, and hopefully we would get a better chance trying to stop the ball from going into Gruev. And then, or let me just try this. Tight mark Gruev and trigger press, leave the trigger press on for Friedel. And I know that Mbom was seeing a lot of running in the middle of the field, and currently perhaps put him on normal tackling as well, and then we'll see how that goes on to help us do better in the game. So second half is off and running. Let's see how well we do with the new changes that we've gone on to make. So here's Skittle and Molheim. Long ball to Dia. Oh, he couldn't get there. Okay, here's Stage. Ball is cleared. We're back to our start screen, and so far so good. 0.59 XG, so we're not explosively controlling them, but we're doing quite well, enough to actually get us 3 points in this game. Here's Agu away by Kwame. Can he get there? No, Gruev got there first. Stage is going out wide, trying to cut inside. Sohanen is there. Oops, cleared away. Here's Stage again. Oh, saved by Fernandez. So they're picking up their pace. They're picking up a lot of pace, and maybe this is our opportunity to hit them on the break and hit them with a long counter attack. So I'm going to need fast players on either flank to try and hit their position with this counter attack. This game has been going on for about 7 minutes, this first half. So here's a corner from Kittle. Hopefully he can get a good one. Oh! Ambrosius, I'd love to see that replay. Probably we're trying to save the amount of minutes we go on to have this for. So 0.83 XG, so far so good. Not bad. Hit my passing net to see if our interaction with Friedel was going to help. He's trying to build a new relationship here with the white player. So because we actually blocked him from going to Gruev, he's trying to create another relationship with the white player here. So let's see how this goes on to unfold. Good passing, lovely passing. Oh, Ambrosio has lost it. Fulkrug is in possession. Oh, he's been stopped. Stopped by David as well. Let's see how far this can go. Here's a corner to Darida, one of the assist takers as well, and he's a player that is actually on set pieces. So he scores a lot of, or he creates a lot of his assists from set pieces. That's something we should have been wary of. I thought he was actually creating his assists from open play, so it's actually from set pieces. So that's something I didn't really take into account. So far, so good. We're still in control of this game. So it's about that time when I'm going to enjoy making a change. So far, so good. And Dia, although he's played well, he's getting into that stage where I'm going to need to take him off now. So Bulai Dia coming off for a player like Babija, but most of my other strikers are struggling though. Here's Krondifer. Let's try Krondifer as a central attacker, playing as an advanced forward to try and lead the line. It means we're going to lose the pressing from Bulai Dia, but we're going to have him come off for Babija. Babija can play in this role. Perhaps he's not the fastest, but he's an inverted winger on the other side, so he can play as a winger here on support. And then have Krondifer swap positions with Babija. Where's that instruction? Okay, player instruction here. Krondifer go on to swap positions with Babija. And once that's settled, go on to confirm player substitution. I went into the wrong place. Okay, that should help us continue the game and see how far we can go. Long ball out from my goalkeeper, of course, clear the ball out of our area as soon as possible. It's just coming back at us. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing to try and press or try and play out from the back if there's going to invite an opposition press. Ah, here's a tackle. Oh my God, no. 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 It's going to be a penalty, yes? Oh, come on. Come on. Ah, after everything that we did, hopefully, the reader sold my goalkeeper. Sold my goalkeeper. Ah, they've gone on to equalize, and hopefully the changes that I made, probably that was the wrong timing as well. So Darida went on to score, and it's 1-1 now. I actually thought we were going to get 3 points from this game. We still can. Gonna encourage our players to do more, ask them to be more focused. They've done their best because I noticed that Werder Bremen is actually a better side. But here's Darida with possession of the ball. Whipped in as a cross, cleared away. Here's Fredo. Darida again out wide, blocked by Morheim. He didn't do very well defensively. Cleared away. Here's Visor again, Vučković. Ball's gone wide. Bebica has possession. He just goes on to clear it. He just goes on to clear the ball. We are in that state right now. We are in that state. Moving to a cautious mentality now. Hopefully that will help us try a bit more solid. My defense is quite... Pause the game, please. My defense is... Looking at Kwame in defensive midfield, let's bring in Sean Lau in there. Hopefully, that will help us be a bit more solid. Reese as well to play as the defensive midfielder. As a fact, play as the deep line playmaker on support, Reese, and then Sean Lau play as the defensive midfielder. This time not on support duty, but on defend duty. And then once that's settled, going to give them the motivational talk and then push my players out. Now we can resume. Let's see. Hopefully those changes might help us. So this is kind of how I go about managing my games. Here's, higher. This is probably very tough. The ball is not out. Go on to get it. Konda, he just clears it. My players are just clearing the ball. Everybody's scared right now. You're supposed to be. It's 1-1. And it looks like we might go on to grab a point from this game. I hoped for more. But Werder Bremen actually went on to kick into gear and they pushed out everything. The goal that they scored was actually by penalty. Oh, here's another one from set piece. Oh, blocked away. Hopefully that penalty is going to cost us, which is something that I didn't plan for. But so far, so good. That's us. Let's say as a smaller team, you can go about controlling most of your matches in this manner. Hopefully, Aku is not going to create a chance from this. Here's Han. Han is actually being forced to play deeper because of all this. And so far, still 1 minute to go. We can hold on for the point. Here's Sean Lau using possession of it. Play it wide, out to David. We're trying to control the game now, not force anything to happen too quickly. Here's Reese, long ball out to Kronderfer. That's risky. We've lost possession there. 30 more seconds to go. Long ball out, headed away, very good. Bebica has it. Sean Lau lost possession. He seems to be alone there. Friedel, long ball out, that will be cleared by Haya, and that might just about be that. So in case as a small team you want to try and control the game, you can use opposition scouting reports in this manner, try and apply and see who the opposition players are, see who you can put on trigger press, see who you can put on tight marking, and try to have an idea of the team that you're coming up against. So right now we could have had 3 points, but just the one penalty kind of helped us, or helped Werder Bremen get the goal that would see them get back in this game and then get a points from the match. But for us, 1 point is not bad. It should help us somewhat build momentum and get out of the drop zone, because that's currently where we are as a team. We're currently still in 16th place, so we have just 1 point, 2 points, or if we actually went on to win the game, we would have been above Schalke 04 by now, but that's something for another day. But in summary, in case you know what you need, or with this video, hopefully with all the opposition instruction and scouting reports on the data hub that I've showed you in this video, you should have an idea about how you can go about using your opposition scouting reports and how to look at the opposition and try to get the best information out of them that you can use for your favor in Football Manager 2023. If you found this video useful, remember to hit the like button down below, and also if you're not subscribed to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when new Football Manager tactic videos, hints and tips do come out like this here on the channel. I'll catch you guys in more Football Manager videos. See you in the next video.